Now I want to liner glaze some mugs, and I want to do it like this, so that the outside glaze meets the inside glaze at the rim in a nice straight line. And not just because of that reason, but also, you notice I've done this one already, you notice the mug I've got the inside glazed, and it's pretty well waterlogged. So I need to dry it before I do the outside. Now if I had just dipped the entire mug, it probably wouldn't dry as good. So now to do that, we'll just pour this full. I notice I started with the handle to the right, so that I could give the mug a complete turn without it getting in my way. Same thing again, I'll start the handle to the right, begin the pour, and then just dip the lip. Okay, now let's do step 2 in the process. I put each of the mugs onto a banding wheel and put on some wax emulsion, just on about the top, a couple of centimeters or inch on the inside and just barely over the rim. Now the next step of the process is using a very sharp knife to trim up to the wax line. Cut the glaze away. I'm doing it at about a 45-degree angle, so I'm getting a perfect line where the inside glaze ends and is covered with wax. And then I use a fettling knife to do any cleanup here, and you can see why it's important not to dip the mug too deep in the glaze, because then it increases the amount of time it takes to clean it up. And you'll also notice that the mug is still fairly damp, the glaze is still drying, and so that means that there's less dust being generated. Now it's the next day and I'm going to glaze these, and they've dried. And my hand is just a little bit wet here because I'm going to be putting it inside here and I don't want it to stick to this wax. But first I put it upside down like this, push it down just a little ways into the glaze, and then push it down right away. Blot it on there. And then just take off any drips that are on the wax. Now if I would have had the glaze too viscous or too thick, then I would have had more than just drips, so it's just about right. And if I have to clean it off, I just use an outward motion on the sponge. Now it's already dry, so I can clean off the base.